Assalamu alaikum, dear students. With the remaining part of the promissory note, so advantages and disadvantages of the promissory note. Before going to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the promissory note, so we already know about the promissory note. We defined the promissory note. We already explain the parties that are involved in the promissory note. There are two parties are involved. One is issuer and one is payer, borrower and lenders. Then we discuss the features of the promissory note. So hope you will understand those. Today now we will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the promissory note. So look at a promissory note is sometimes that is refers to a legal form of the loan. This is just like we are taking loan. So this is a loan instrument. So you can use it for the obligations or loan ranging from inter-family loans to mortgage loans. Similarly, students loan, bank loans, commercial loans, vehicle loans and other common use loans. So this is one advantage is that we can use it. Another one advantages of the promissory note that promissory note is are legally binding, that is compulsory. Legally you can claim it, and this the person who issue or the business who issue, so he is legally bound to you. Legally he is bound to make payments to you at the maturity time or on the demand of the payee. When payee demand, so the maker or issuer that is legally bound that he or she will returns back that money to you, or the business is returns that money to you. Another one advantages of the promissory note, that promissory note give time to the repay. Look it, if I need some money, today I need some money, and through by promissory note, if I got that money from you and I use that money in my personal use or for my business use, and in future date I repay back that monies to you. So look it, now I got the time to repay. If I not insure you with the promissory note, so may be possible that you will not sanction that loan amounts to me. But if in the written form I make a promise in shape of promissory notes to you, so then you allowed that loan's money to me. That's why this is the advantages of the promissory note, that it gives time for the repayments of those debts to the borrower. The simplicity, the next one advantages which comes in my mind and are not written here, that the simplicity and straightforward nature of the promissory note make it most beneficial. When a loan has simple payment terms, you don't need to record nearly as such too much details or have a lengthy of the documents with the promissory note. There is no requirements of the lengthy documents. Minimum elements to include in the promissory note are the amount in a borrowed amount, the interest rate, and the repayment schedules is I discussed in my previous lectures. So, these things that are included, which becomes the simple natures of the promissory note. So, due to that simple nature, everyone like this one. Sometimes it is helpful to add a few additional details such as the property address. I am talking about the secure promissory note. Clear? So, like the property address and phone numbers of the parties that are involved. So, with the basic interfamily loans and other small value notes, you don't need a through legal review of the documents. This is also another one advantages of the promissory note, that if the promissory note is interfamily loans, like look at, if I take loan from you, so you are my students, so there should be no legal review documents are required. It means that you are not claiming from me for my business documents, or there is no need that you can claim my land documents, my property documents, and when I give to you, so or similarly there is also no need that you should take a legal review on that documents, that either this is correct one or not correct one. So, instead have a CPA financial professionals or notary witnesses, the signature of the note is also required. So, these were the advantages of the promissory note. Now, as you know that everything in this world they have advantages, so they also have some disadvantages. So, following are the disadvantages of the promissory note, that since the primary value of the promissory note is simplify the loan process, so it isn't as beneficial for more complex situations. A loan agreement is necessary. Keep in mind, dear students, when you have a more complicated loan, or you want greater protections against the borrower defaults, that our borrower should not becomes a defaulters, so the lenders wants to secure their self. So, another risk to the borrower is that, from the side of the borrower, is that may hide unfavorable terms in the fine prints of a longer promissory note. Means that in that written promise, the borrower or the issuers, they hide some terms. So, before signing any type of legally binding loan documents like promissory note, both party needs to thoroughly read and understand all the critical terms and conditions of that documents. With a real estate note, one tactic used by lender is tucking early payments penalty that details into the obscure sections of the note. So, this penalty means that the borrower may have to pay a lump sum penalty when trying to pay off the loan before the mortgage terms is completed. Our time consuming legal review sometimes are also necessary with the more detailed notes. Similarly, finding a borrower can be difficult. This is the disadvantages of the promissory note. Sometimes if a borrower, that becomes a defaulter, as I discussed before. So how to recover the loan amount from the borrower? So automatically we will concerns to the court, and going to court, that is costly. Why? We will hire the lawyer. We will consume our time. We will pay court fees when we put a case against the borrower. So court fee we will pay. So all these are costly. So these was the disadvantages of the promissory note. So dear students, hope you will understand the total scenario and concept of the promissory note, that what is promissory note, who issues this promissory note, who accept this promissory note, what are the parties involved in the promissory note, what are the property or features of the promissory note, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the promissory note. In this promissory note, either this is a negotiable instruments or a non-negotiable instruments. So I hope that you will understand completely. Our next topic is bill of exchange. A bill of exchange, this is also called draft. It is a written orders by the drawers to the drawee to pay money to payee. So look at here, three parties are involved: drawer, drawee and payee. But if you remember, in the promissory note there was two party, drawer and payee, or maker and payee. So bill of exchange, this is the simplest definition, that a common type of a bill of exchange is the check, defined as a bill of exchange drawn on banker and payable on the demand. So now how we can define the bill of exchange? That bill of exchange is a written order of the drawer to drawee to make a certain payments to payee. A bill of exchange is used mostly, primarily in the international trade, that binds one party to pay a fixed sum of the money to another party on the demands or at the predetermined date. Look at bill of exchange also have the property like the promissory note. Either the amount of the bill of exchange that should be paid on demand, or either the amount of the bill of exchange will be paid when when the maturity date is come. So on that maturity date, the bill of exchange amount should be paid to the payee. But if the maturity date is not mentioned, is not specified, so then when any time the payee demand, so that bill of exchange will be in a pair will be paid. bill of exchange are similar to the check and the promissory notes. They can be drawn by the individuals or banks and are generally transferable through by the endorsement. So look at, dear students, a bill of exchange is written orders in which one binding one party to pay a fixed sum of money to another party on the demand or at some future time periods. The bill of exchange often include three parties. Keep in mind, the drawee is the party that pay the sum of the money. Here we will also check out that three parties that are included in the bill of exchange. What are these three parties? The drawer, number one. The person or business who order for the payments to financial institutions, that is called drawers. Drawee, the financial institution, let's suppose bank, which obey the order of the drawer. And the payee, the persons to whom payments to be made from the side of the drawer through by drawee. So three parties are involved: drawer, drawee and payee. Drawee is the party that pays the sum to the payee. The payee received that sum, and drawer is that one who obliges the drawee to pay the money to payee. Like, look it. If me and you people, they are engaged in a credit transaction. I take $1 lakh loan from you. So keep in mind, you will write the bill of exchange. I will accept the bill of exchange to sign it. In promissory note, the borrower will issue the promissory note, but here the borrower will not issue, the lender will issue the bill of exchange to borrower. Borrower will duly sign it, accept that bill of exchange, and when it is signed by the borrower, so borrower will returns back that bills to lender. So now here in this case, I am a drawer that I orders to the bank to make a certain payments to you people. You are a payee and bank is drawee. So three parties are involved. A bill of exchange mostly, keep in mind, that is used in the international transactions, like in the import and export purposes, mostly to helps the import and export transactions. Also keep in mind that bill of exchange is not a contract itself. The involved parties can use it to specify the terms of a transaction, like the credit terms and the rate of the interest. This is simple shape of the bill of exchange. Clear? Prior to the advent, the start of the paper currency, bill of exchange were a common means of the exchange. Look at, bill of exchange was used as a medium of exchange when there was no concept of the paper money. This is just, bill of exchange is by itself is an ear money. Clear? Now, one questions come in a mind that how the bill of exchange they are works. So a bill of exchange transaction, they can involve, as we know, that three parties. The drawee is that party that pay the sum of the bill of exchange money, and that is specified in the bill of exchange. So drawee pay that money. The payee is another one party, means the lender. So the payee is the one who will receive that sum. The drawer is that party that oblige the drawee to pay the payee. So the drawer and the payee are the same entity unless the drawer transfer the bill of exchange to a third party payee. So a bill of exchange, that is written documents outlining a debtor's indebtedness to the creditors. Mostly that is used in the import and exports or international trade to pay for the goods and services. And keep in mind that it's not a contract by itself. It can specify that payment is due on the demand or at the specified future date. It's often extended with the credit terms and conditions, like such as 90 days. As well, a bill of exchange must be accepted by the drawee to be valid. Bill of exchange, dear students, generally do not pay interest, making them in post-dated checks. They may occur interest if not paid by on the certain date. If that bill of exchange which is issued and the specified sum of the money is specified and future date is also specified. So when the drawer not obey that bill of exchange on maturity date, so after the maturity date, drawer is liable to pay interest on that bill of exchange. Clear? They can conversely be transferred at a discount before the date specified for the payment. Look at, if I have the bill of exchange from you side and their maturity is 3 months. Now still 1 month are left till maturity, but I need money. So I can present this bill of exchange to the bank that I now immediately need payments. Bank will make immediate payments but not the full payments which is mentioned in the bill of exchange. Like if the bill of exchange is of 1 lakh, so bank will make payments of 99,500, yeah, 99,600, 700. On discounts, I will give that bill of exchange to the bank. So this is one sort of taking loan, sources of loan as well as. So a bill of exchange must clearly have the detailed amount of the money, the date, and the parties involved, including the drawer and drawee as well as. This is the simple or the specimen of the bill of exchange. You can see these are the parties involved in the bill of exchange. So in the upcoming class we will discuss the features of the bill of exchange.